Good afternoon, I'm Reese Wicks with 2NURFM Hunter News. A 23-year-old has been denied bail today following a vicious hammer attack on his ex-partner in a Catherine Street home yesterday. He can now be identified as Peter David Weideman and has been charged with attempted murder. Neighbours say the 38-year-old Maitland woman ran from her house yesterday screaming, "Help me." She's now in the John Hunter with severe fractures to her skull. The matter's been adjourned until October 21st, where Weideman will appear via video link. The state government's move for approval to officially shut down Newcastle's rail line is drawing some criticism. Transport Minister Andrew Constance is putting forward a bill to close the line and rip up the tracks today, saying the city has waited long enough. However, Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe says the government's refusal to wait for a Court of Appeal ruling shows a lack of respect for the process.
The government's not waiting for the appeal judge to hand down its decision. The government's just pushing ahead with legislation to cut the rail line, which is a real sign of arrogance, and it's a waste of a huge amount of taxpayers' money, given they've gone through 2 rounds of court and now they're just not even going to wait for the result.
2NURFM has sought a comment from the state government. Police are seeking 2 men who attacked a 50-year-old man in Danga Park last night after the 3 had been drinking together. The assault occurred near a Maitland Road hotel at around 8 p.m. The assailants took an amount of cash from the victim, who suffered no serious injuries. The 2 men are believed to be in their early 20s. One had a stocky build. Anyone with information is urged to call their local police station or Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. A public meeting is set to be held next week to update the community following the discovery of toxic chemicals in waterways around the Williamtown RAF base. Residents were advised last week not to drink bore water or eat fish or eggs from backyard chickens or after chemicals from firefighting foam were discovered in ground and surface water. The chemicals have been linked to some forms of cancer and fish kills. Paterson MP Bob Baldwin says he's met with the Defence Minister and his Parliamentary Secretary on Monday and yesterday to discuss the issue.
I expressed my outrage and concern that I found out about this issue in the newspaper rather than being briefed by Department of Defence. But that being said, what we need is a pathway forward in what will be done.
A crowd of protesters met accused dog killer Nathan Merchant as he arrived at Cessnock Local Court this morning. The 23-year-old Kurri Kurri man is facing animal cruelty charges after it's alleged he kicked in the head of his partner's chihuahua on the 21st of August. The matter was adjourned until October 21. He's been excused from appearing and his conditional bail is continuing. Ausgrid workers and their families are anxiously waiting to hear if they will still have a job come the end of the day. The company announced its first phase of job cuts yesterday, with 600 full-time positions to get the axe in Sydney, the Hunter and the Central Coast. About 250 workers will be made redundant in our region. The move comes after revenue cap from the energy regulator. The Hunter Medical Research Institute is today launching a community education campaign which will hopefully kickstart the conversation on biobanking. Biobanking is a technique aimed at cancer patients who can donate leftover cancer tissue from surgery for future research. Professor Stephen Ackland says it will allow researchers to get a better understanding of how to treat cancer.
It's a little bit more realistic in the sense that the researchers can study molecules and tissues that have come directly out of patients rather than ones that have been extensively manipulated in a laboratory.
Sport for our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club, Fishing Expo, September 13.
The Knights are holding a press conference at 1 o'clock where it's expected Nathan Brown will be officially named as new head coach. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Matt Gidley says while he's disappointed in Tarek Sims, the forward doesn't need to change his playing style. The 25-year-old was handed down a 5-match suspension yesterday after taking an early plea for a Grade 2 shoulder charge on a Penrith hooker. Youngster Sione Mitautia faced the judiciary as well. He took an early plea for contrary conduct and will miss round 1 next year. Officials from the New South Wales League of Referees are worried a Swansea player's attack on a ref may deter aspiring refs. An under-18 Swansea player headbutted a young official when his team took on Bulwarra Lawn on Saturday, breaking his nose. They say it's an isolated incident and isn't indicative of player behaviour in the region. And Hunter off-road riders Josh Green and Bo Ralston have helped Australia to second place after the opening day of the International 6-Day Enduro in Slovakia. That's sport. I'm Jacinta Lee.
2 on your FM news time is 11 past 12.